Hello and welcome to this video. Today we will look at a secret fingering for a high F sharp that will increase your high notes game forever. I use this secret fingering, for example, for Ravel's piano concerto solo. Or I use it for Peter and the Wolf, this part where you go up with the arpeggios very quickly, up to the F sharp. But first, let's speak about how we usually take the F sharp. So usually the standard fingering for the F sharp is just the middle finger of the left hand and the D sharp key for the right hand. Now this one is oftentimes too flat on many clarinets. A little bit higher. So you can get it a little bit higher by using this little key with the very tip of your ring finger. So like this, you can get the usual fingering, the standard fingering, which is not our secret fingering yet. You can get it in tune. But what's the problem with this fingering? So this fingering is a note that comes very difficultly on the clarinet. So the risk of getting the undertone or the squeak on this note is very likely. So therefore, you have to pay attention where your bottom lip sits on the reed. So the undertone and the squeak lie very, very closely with a very small change of the lip on the reed. You can already get one of the two. So this is not ideal because it will be a little bit embarrassing in concerts if we squeak or if the note doesn't come. So therefore there's a second fingering for the high F sharp, which is still not our secret fingering yet, okay? But the second fingering for the high F sharp is the long fingering. So basically you will put the first two fingers, and here all three fingerings. This is why we say it's the long fingering, okay? Because we go to the long side of the clarinet and then we add the D sharp key as well. So now this is a F sharp that is very, very comfortable to play. It's very unlikely to squeak, and also for the undertone to come. It still can come, but as soon as you give enough air, the F sharp comes, and it's very hard to squeak this note. Okay, you can do it, but it's not as easy as. Okay. With the other fingering, it comes much more likely. So this one will be one of the most stable F sharps you can play on the clarinet. For most cases, you would be using this one. Obviously not for the chromatic scale, because for the chromatic scale, we kind of need this fastness of the change here from E, F, F sharp, G. So this is a quite easy connection if it goes chromatic. So the long F is maybe more something for lyrical solos where you have a high note. But in general, this will be the F sharp you use the most in your repertoire, this one. But it's still not our secret fingering for the high F sharp. And now comes our secret fingering for the high F sharp. which I actually didn't know for a very long time. So it is a fingering that I learned, I think, around when I was 23 years old, 22 years old, something like this. So, and I'm going to share it with you now. It's pretty cool. So the benefit of the secret fingering for the F sharp is that you will have the feeling as if you go down and not up. So it's great to play intervals from the middle register into the F sharp. So to do a large interval, to feel the interval, and then to not play it as if you would be going up, but as if you would be going down, which is actually the ideal case, the ideal feeling. If you want to do intervals into the high register, you should have the feeling as if you would go down rather than pressing up. And now this fingering actually, okay, so first of all, I will show you how it goes, okay? So it's like that you play a normal A, and then you add the highest trill key here. Actually, there's another one I will show you in a second, but the first one I will show you is the one with the highest trill key. So just A and the highest trill key. And it's a very, very beautiful F sharp. So it's very, very cool to play it like this. And the cool thing is now in this Ravel piano concerto beginning, is actually you go to the B and then you go back down to the A, and we have kind of this feeling that we create inside of the mouth when we put our finger down to the A, right, where we don't block inside of our mouth because we are conditioned to go down to the A. But now we do exactly this with our fingers. We are going down to the A, and it gives us the feeling as if we're going down, but then the high F sharp comes in a really, really nice color, which is pretty cool. Now the other example, which I told you I will tell you about, is the arpeggios in the Peter and the Wolf orchestral excerpt. Okay, so you have those. So as I told you before, I will show you another one which is same. It's like A and a trill key, but now we will use the lowest trill key. So because in this case, if you use the highest trill key, it will be a little bit too flat, like, but just in this tonality, yeah, you want to get it higher. Before in the Ravel, it worked with the more flat one. You need it for the tonality of the Ravel. You need a little bit the more flat F sharp if you would play it with. This would be not in tune. So basically you have those two options. If you need one that is a little bit more sharp, go with this one. And if you need one that is a little bit darker in color, go with this one. But basically with the Peter and the Wolf example, it's the same feeling. So it feels as if you would go from the E as if you would go back down to the A. So we are conditioned to not close our throat at all because we play the fingering of the A. So it's a very, very comfortable fingering, very unlikely to squeak, and comes very, very easily. And as I said, it's very good for these connections upward, where you need the feeling of not closing in the throat, so that the high note can ring with a nice resonance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can implement this F sharp in many places in your music. Yeah. But minimum in the Ravel and in the Peter and the Wolf. Would be very happy if you would implement it there. So see you soon and bye.